Hey my friends, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Today we are doing our next installment of Summertime Sunday Sides. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be the most delicious squash casserole. So don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. I'll tell you more about the casserole in just a little bit.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is...
Alright, so let me say, before we get into the video of the casserole, I want to tell you just a little bit about it. But first, if you like cooking videos, farming videos, ministry videos, day in the life of, grocery hauls, all kinds of things, I would love for you to hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, select the word all, and be sure to give me a thumbs up or a comment or something just to show interaction so that you don't get lost out, or I don't get lost out of your algorithm. So, anyway, let me tell you about this casserole. My husband and I, when he went into the pastorate, we went to our first church in Tobaccoville. We were there for 15 years. Well, when we had gotten there, the minister before Bryant had retired, and he so sweetly went out and said, I'm not gonna go to your church. I'm gonna let you get used to the people. And I mean, it was just so sweet and thoughtful. He says, I want them to look at you as the leader. And he says, I'm going to go away for just a little bit. Well, then after he was gone for a while, he just asked if they could come back, because this was their church that they loved for so long. So he and his wife, Miss Ruth, came back. And this is her recipe. Not only did she take me under her wing as a new pastor's wife and showed me about the people and told me about the people, but she also shared her recipes with me. She also taught me how to crochet. So I can't say enough. This recipe is very, very special to me because it was from one pastor's wife to another. And then my family just adored it. It got passed around our family. And so it's a great recipe. So don't go anywhere. This summertime Sunday side squash casserole is coming up. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice up this squash and get it sauteing just to cook it a little bit. I'm actually doing this the day before, not because I have to, but because I have a little extra time. And tomorrow when I'm going to be making this casserole, we have a funeral, so this will just save me a step. But oh my goodness, if you can make this all in at one time, this is not... you do not have to do this prep work a day ahead or anything. It's just working out best for me at this point. So I've got here about 3 to 4 squash, and I'm just going to cook them all. I may or may not use them all. We'll see. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And as soon as I get, I'm just going to put some water, maybe a little bit of salt in this pot here, and bring it to a boil and just cook them until they're fork tender. And so we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, y'all, let's finish this squash casserole. I'm in the process of getting ready. Just started putting my makeup on, so sorry. First, let me show you the casserole dish I'm going to put it in. Is this not beautiful? It's blue. One of my sweet viewers, Tammy, sent me a set of 3. There's a smaller one and a larger one. I'm going to use the middle one. I'm not exactly sure what size it is. It's a little bit smaller than a 9 by 13. Okay, so here comes our summertime Sunday casserole or side dish. And let me tell you why I chose this as a side dish. You can by all means make this at any time during winter, because you can find squash about any time. But in the summer, we always have an abundance of squash in our garden because my husband plants so many. So that's why this one fell into the summertime category. But we always have squash, and I fry squash, I stew squash, I stir fry squash, and we make the casserole. So with that being said, let's get started. So right here I have my, sorry guys, I've got to get my tripod fixed. Okay, there I have my stewed squash, and it's just, you know, tender. I probably cooked it a little too long, but it's okay. And I don't mash it. Some people mash it. I don't. To our squash, we're going to add a half a cup of onion and a half a cup, supposed to be green pepper, but my green pepper had shriveled up and said, I no longer want to be used. So it bit the dust. All right, to this, I'm going to add 1 4-ounce, I think it's a 4-ounce jar of diced pimentos. I drained a little bit, but not all of it. I didn't worry about getting it all out, all the juice. I think the juice of pimentos is delicious. Okay, so to that, I'm going to add a half a cup of mayonnaise. Y'all are going to just be amazed at how easy this casserole is. I'm going to go in with a half a cup of cheese, shredded cheddar cheese. I think my shredded cheddar cheese is about seeing its better day too. In my little pimento jar, just so I don't have to mess up another dish, I'm going to crack an egg and take a fork and beat it a little bit. I have some butter melting on the stove top. And see, this gets your little extra pimentos too. Let's come over here and pour our egg in. All right. Okay, let's give this a stir. Mixing everything up well, especially that mayonnaise. You want to get that mayonnaise in there really well. All right. Now, wouldn't that be just absolutely beautiful if you had the green peppers? I didn't have green peppers, but it would be so pretty. All right, let me get some spray and spray our pan. Okay, so my oven is preheating right now to 350 degrees. And that was probably, I used probably 3 of those good sized squash. If you have really large squash, you could probably cut it down to 2. If you have small, you can make it 4. All right. Oh, and let me tell you, and this is what I normally do. This can actually be an entree. And let me tell you how. Let me turn the camera up so I can tell you how. If you have a rotisserie chicken, you pull some of that chicken apart and you mix it in with this. You've got meat, protein. It can be an entree. And it is so good that way. Oh my goodness, it's good. But we're working on side dishes, so I'm leaving the meat out. Okay, so let me grab my butter over here off the stove. Now, the recipe calls for, well, it calls for 2, I'm doing 2 things wrong from my recipe, my normal recipe. It calls for herbed breadcrumbs, but I couldn't find herbed breadcrumbs. And so what I did was, let me show you. I got a box of this, and then I just crushed it up. So, anyway. But if you can find herbed breadcrumbs, go for it. But I'm going to mix in a stick of butter into this recipe. I'm going to stop at probably half a stick and just see. a half may be plenty. And I believe it is. So we'll go with half a stick of butter, because you just want to coat it. All right, and I'll save that for something else. Some good bread or something. Okay, so let's bring our casserole over here. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. All right. Oh my goodness, it smells delicious already. And I did spray my pan here. Okay, so it's going to go in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. And when we come out, or when we come back, it's going to be the most delicious side dish on your Sunday lunch table. Now, it won't set up like to where you cut it out in squares. It's going to be a spoon, a scoop. Oh my goodness, but it's so full and flavor. It is so delicious. And let me just tell you, once you try this as a side dish, please go back and try it with the chicken in it. Oh my, it's good. So, as you can see, I need to clean up my kitchen. And so while this is baking, I'm going to clean up, get things kind of put in order, and we will be back to try this most delicious squash casserole. I'm so excited. All right, here it is out of the oven. It's been out for about 15 minutes, and looks like I've had a little person get into it. Now remember, you want to use the herbed breadcrumbs, but I could not find them, so I used the stovetop that I just smashed up. I didn't get it smashed as fine as I wanted to, so the bigger pieces have a little bit more of a crunch, but it's still delicious. But try to find you some herbed breadcrumbs. All right, so we're waiting for Bryant, and we're going to do the taste test. So let's go ahead and scoop us out some of this squash casserole. Oh my goodness. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so we're just waiting on Bryant. I'll let this cool a little bit and we'll do the taste test. Okay, y'all, I have spooned it out, and he's actually already been in this one too. So look at there. Can y'all see? Can't see good. The light's glaring.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, y'all. And if it had them green bell peppers, it'd be even more beautiful. But, and remember, get you some herb breadcrumbs. But if you can't find them, like I couldn't find them, this is a good second, but it's a little crunchier than it normally is.
Okay. She knows I like this because...
and we normally, a lot of times, put chicken in it.
yeah, you can do that, change it up.
And make it an entree, which I've already told y'all about that too.
You cannot go wrong right here. 2 reasons. 1, the squash. 2, the mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise, but anyway.
Probably. Does it need a little more cheese than what I put in?
You could use a little more cheese, but it's not...
make it a cup of cheese, so half a cup.
It's not deficient, but you could use a little more. So, here you go, you give it a whirl, see what you think. I know it's not up to be approved, but...
One other thing. Other than the breadcrumbs, what you might want to do also is saute the onions and green pepper. Because I know sometimes I don't want to bite into a crunch of a green pepper or onion, but I want the flavor. So just sauteing them up a little bit does wonders. So this is so good, y'all.
Here.
Thank you. Did you see I needed it?
She was
I got a little choke.
She was struggling to breathe there, so we'll help her out. Yeah, but she This right here it's baked. I mean, the consistency is really good. And I don't like the al dente onions or peppers, but this right here, it turned out really good. I can't really tell.
Oh, good. All right, good. So I thought I would throw that in there because I know some people are opposed to biting into a crunch. I think it needs more cheese.
Yeah.
So go with a cup of cheese. I'll put a cup of cheese in the recipe down below.
Yep. So, all right, got to make for your summertime Sunday side.
Yeah, he gets it better than I do.
How'd I do?
He gets it better than I do. Okay.
Your family will love you for this one. This one here is good.
All right, so I'm going to put the recipe as it originally is with the breadcrumbs and what I think it should be with the cheese. So down below, so don't miss it. So thank you guys for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. I hope you're enjoying these Sunday supper. Wait a minute, see? Summertime Sunday sides. I don't know why that's so hard for me to get out, and I named it. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying them. We've got some great ones coming up. I know coleslaw is a big one asked for. So what I'm working on with the coleslaw is the measurements because I don't measure anything. I just throw it in there. So I want to give you actual measurements. And so that's coming. I've got a great potato salad that actually one of my viewers sent me. I don't make potato salad a lot, but I had come up with my own recipe, but then she sent me hers, and hers sounds really close to mine. I mean, very close to mine. So I'm actually going to make hers. And so we got lots of stuff coming up on this summertime Sunday sides. So thank you guys for watching. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.